he gone yet?
Almost. Not far enough. Go over the hill.
It was reported that before the American landing on Tarawa, the Japanese commander had bragged that 1 million Americans in 100 years would not be able to take that island. The United States Marine Corps took that island in 76 hours. But there was an horrendous loss of life. During that 76-hour time period, there was a garrison of 4,500 Japanese soldiers. 76 hours later, there were only 17 survivors. During that same time period, the United States Marine Corps experienced just over 3,000 casualties, and of those, 1,036 killed in action. After the Battle of Tarawa, there were 4 Medal of Honor recipients. 3 of the 4 went to members of these assault teams that we just demonstrated for you. And one of those went to a 23-year-old staff sergeant from San Antonio, Texas. His name was William Borderland. And it's hard for me to imagine that a man at age 23 was already looked upon by his men as a fatherly figure. Borderland was on board an Amtrak making his way to the beach when he got stuck on the coral and then was hit by a Japanese mortar. He was only one of 4 men that made it out alive. Once in the water, he became entangled in barbed wire, but he was able to cut himself free. And then he began that wade to the beach of about 500 yards under extremely heavy enemy gunfire. Once on the beach, he quickly went about gathering explosives. He had lost most of it in the water. Then he went to action, went to work. He approached his first enemy fortified position. He took it out. He went after his second position. He knocked it out as well. As Borderland was approaching his third fortified enemy position, he was struck by enemy gunfire. He stumbled. He staggered. He did go down. But bleeding badly, he was able to regain his feet, and he finished off that third position as well. He was then brought back behind the seawall for medical attention, which he refused. Instead, he heard the cries of a young Marine struggling out in the surf. He waded out, brought that young man to safety and medical attention. Then Borderland went after his fourth fortified position, and that is when Japanese gunfire ended his life. William Borderland was the first Texan to receive the Medal of Honor during World War II. His family has loaned to the museum here in Fredericksburg, the National Museum of the Pacific War, his medal. It is currently on display. And I encourage you, if you have not yet visited our museum, that you will do so. And while you're there, gaze upon that medal. Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see a reenactment of the Battle of Tarawa. There is no way, as reenactors, we can accurately portray what those men experienced during that time period. But we're going to do our very best to honor their memory and to keep it alive. The battle is about to begin. Soon, all hell will break loose. Marines, I'll see you on the beach.
Now I know why these guys were 18 when they did this. We're a little short of bodies this weekend, so they pressed me back into service. I don't think that's fair. Folks, we don't do this to glorify war. We do this because of Admiral Nimitz and his mission to honor men and women of the Pacific Theater. But we also do this to honor all the men and women veterans of all times in peace and war that we do out here for this museum. Like I said, I started this program in 1991. As you see it, it's growing constantly. This is our 5th major battlefield change that we've done here since then, and we had a lot of fun with it. Before I go any further though, let me bring somebody to your attention if I can find a piece of paper. I get notes handed to me all the time here. John Bryant, if you're able, would you please stand, please? John Bryant, where are you at? John Bryant. I gotta brag about you a minute. Army Air Corps 386 Bomber Group. This gentleman has 2 Purple Hearts. World War II veteran, folks. It was no secret why we did this. John, that's your great-grandson that's here with you today?
My great-grandson, great-granddaughter.
Outstanding. The young man we pulled up for that Kid Pack program is his great-grandson, so it's obvious why we did that program for you, sir. Thank y'all for coming. So, not to be outdone, I'm going to ask this question. Do I have any Korean War veterans in the audience? If I do, please stand. Korean War. Come on, stand up. You can't hide. Come on. Stand up. Outstanding. Good offering. How about, this is probably going to get the largest group. How about Vietnam? All you Vietnam veterans, come on, stand up, everybody. Good job. Thank y'all. Now this one, I actually had somebody stand up on this, so I'm going to see if I got one. How about Grenada? 1983 Grenada. Anybody from Grenada period? Okay. 1991 Gulf Storm, Desert Storm. Y'all stand up. I know you're out here. Good job. Great job. How about Afghan-Iraq War? Afghan-Iraq, come on. I know you're a bunch out there. Don't be back. Good job, folks. Thanks, Thank you again. Now, I just highlighted the war effort, but here's where America stands tall. I want all veterans, peacetime war, all veterans, please rise. All veterans, come on, stand up. Be recognized. Let's go. Good job, folks. Thanks all of you. Thanks all. You know, we, like I said, been doing this for a long time, and yeah, I'm getting a little lonely and toopy running around out here, so I'm looking for a few good men. Ladies, hang on to your men because I'm recruiting badly today. But, you know, our veterans, our volunteers have done a great job on this show, and I always like to let y'all to meet our veterans. How about meet our volunteers? In my ranks as a retired Lieutenant Colonel Marine Corps, you get your problem, you got to find him. I have another gentleman that was former Marine. He lost his son in 2005 in Iraq, Iran. I've got another very rare person here. She's actually a teacher. Her parents were in the Warsaw against the Germans and, of course, later against communism. Ava, raise your hand, please. It's an honor to have her here with us. These folks all volunteer. I've got college kids, high school kids, but I'm going to highlight a special group also that spent a lot of money to do this. And as you guys can probably figure out, the hardest thing I had to deal with is finding the other side. Okay? But let me tell you, they're just as proud of their history and heritage as anybody is. And of course now we're allies, and we have been for a lot of years, and war is what they say is hell. And we all know there's no such thing as a good war, but from Japan, for this weekend only, I have 3 guys, that we call them veterans because a couple of them have been here before, and meet our friends from Japan. Now, the funny part about this, you're going to have fun with this, the guy on the far right with the sword is their commander. And no, he doesn't speak Japanese fluently, he's learned it. Believe it or not, Eric Helfrich is one of my chief volunteers here as an interpreter, but guess what? He's a plumber from Austin, Texas. And does an outstanding job, guys.
Rounds down. March. Step it out.
Yeah, get out of my sight. We'll get some water. So here's where I have a little fun with you folks. I'm going to turn you all loose in a minute, but I'm going to ask you not to do something. Don't come up here. Did y'all enjoy this show with all the explosions on the special effects? I spent several years in the film industry, and one of my jobs was teaching guys how to be soldiers, not be silly, but I worked with a lot of special effects people. So I brought that technology back here to the museum, and it shows up here today. Mr. Jim Silvers and Roy out here. Raise your hand, guys. Where's Jim hiding? I don't trust it when I don't see him. Oh, there he is. Okay. These guys were asked to come do this show a few years ago, and I said, hey, Jim, I'm going to do this show over in Fredericksburg, and when instead of bombs and explosions, he goes, oh, we're going to do an air show at the airfield. And I said, no, it's downtown Fredericksburg. He goes, what? So where in America are you going to find a Japanese-held battlefield in the middle of Fredericksburg? Well, here it is. And so the challenge was his to figure out how to do this without, damaging the place. And all my neighbors have gotten used to me by now, thank God. The thing that most people are aware of most, 10 miles away, is that guy on that Jeep. Unmistakable 50 cal machine gun, 10 miles away. Everybody in town goes, yep, Marvin's doing a show, I can hear the 50. The deer hunters don't like me too much sometimes. So they don't know why the bucks all jump about this high when we started our show. I don't understand. So before I turn you loose, we did have a little surprise where I brought in our little M3A1 Stuart to give the infantry support. Unfortunately, you'll notice he got out there before my infantry did. He was running a battlefield by himself, and I said, this is what armor is not supposed to do. That armored box is not defendable without infantry, but Ken is just too eager. He wants to go, he wins the show by himself. But please, go over there and look at the tank. He'll tell you all about it and all that. That's the great-great-grandfather of the current armor we run today. Y'all have already met the other vehicle we have here, so do that, but don't come up on the battlefield. And please, don't pick any of this brass stuff you might see. Some of it may still be live, it could be hot, so just leave that alone, okay? Now, last but not least, I need help. No, I don't. We need to raise your right hand. I need money. Here it comes. Give me 10 bucks. This young lady's going to give you a dummy 50 cal bullet. Then you go, Marvin, what do I want with that? Put it on your workstation. Nobody bothers you at work. If you're really feeling nice, give me a little more dollars, and she's going to give you a dummy hand grenade. Hang that on your rearview mirror and meet all the law enforcement on the way home. Okay? Now, ladies, I know I'm pushing your window a little because I know it's a guy show and you want to get on the street and buy your stuff. But I'm going to offer the ladies something. Guys, ladies only. Ladies armored purse. You can buy it right here. You can't buy that anywhere else. And trust me, ladies, you go on Main Street, it's pretty crowded today in Fredericksburg. Buy one of these, walk down Main Street, and watch everybody get out of your way. Don't wait in line. Okay? Hats, T-shirts, posters, and a bunch of the guys are almost posters. They'll sign them for you. We've got some snacks and stuff back here, and I don't know what all they've got over here. They got dog tags, but guys, that supports this program. If you just want to donate straight to it, there's a donation box right there, and I told my boss, who by the way is the former commandant of the Marine Corps, I'd fill that box this weekend. I'm not doing KP for the next 6 months, so fill that box for me. That helps this program is what we do here. It's about honoring our heroes and inspiring our youth. When I get through with you, go over here, buy some stuff, donate, visit that tank, follow this trail right up here, and there's 2 buildings behind me, a TBM Avenger like George Bush, the 43rd president flew, youngest Navy pilot, 17, but something even rarer than that, PT-309, the last surviving combat PT boat, a 560 build that's on display in this country. It's in that building right behind these trees. Guys, y'all been great. Do me a favor. Remember who we're standing up for this weekend. Thank a veteran. Thank you for coming. Thank you.